Why, hello there. I'm Gab Lavoie. Back in August, my band Kings of Our Kin got to record a short virtual concert for a local festival in the Toronto area here. And I took the opportunity to kind of document the process of recording drums in this very room. And so let's check that out. Today I'm doing some work for my band Kings of Our Kin. This summer, we're playing for the Youth Showcase concert series, which usually happens in Markham. It's one of the suburbs just outside of Toronto. But this year, because of the pandemic, they've moved their festival online. And what they've asked performers to do is to submit a pre-recorded performance in advance to them so that they can stream it according to their schedule thereafter. And so what I'm doing today is I'm filming my takes and my footage as part of our pre-recorded performance. So in past social distancing type videos that Kings of Our Kin put together, because I didn't have a good space to record my drums in, what I did was I played on my cajon, and sometimes I overdubbed a little bit of a shaker or maybe a ride cymbal to kind of help fill out the sound.
Mama, he's a hell of a guy, and I don't mean to be rude, yes, I don't mean to pry,
But today I'm trying something a little bit different because I felt like challenging myself. I'm putting together a sort of DIY soft drum set, basically a much less louder version of a drum kit. And let me show it to you. You'll see what it looks like. All right, so let me show you what we're working with today. So I don't have my throne here, so I'm going to be sitting on my cajon instead. And what I've done, as a bass drum, I have this cardboard box cover. Now, it does look a little junky, and you're pretty much right, but I've tried it out a couple times, and it actually does give a pretty decent bass drum tone. For the snare drum, I've got this like snare practice pad. Basically, it's a skin, but it does actually have some snare wires underneath, so it's got a little bit of a snare tone. I put this practice pad on top to just help mute it a little bit and adjust the tone to my liking. And then in my right hand, I'm going to be playing this shaker to basically take up the sonic space that would usually be occupied by the hi-hats or the ride cymbal. So this is what we're going to try to work with today. Of course, the other thing that I've done is I have set some mics up on it. You can see I've got a mic for the snare drum. I've got a bass drum mic here for my cardboard box bass drum. And then I've set up this condenser over here that's going to act more or less as an overhead. So the first step for me before really getting too deep into this project and setting up like the video component, making it look good, I'm going to try and record some tones from this drum set. Basically just see if I can get it to sound good enough where it's going to be workable in a mix and sound kind of decent, sound okay. And so that's going to be my first step. Worst case scenario, I can always fall back to just playing the cajon and doing that. But I feel like experimenting a bit today, so we'll see what we're gonna get. Alright, so small modification to the setup. I was having a hard time keeping that practice pad from falling right down into the center of my snare pad. So what I've done instead, I've added a bit of moon gel right there. And I also added this tambourine. I don't own one of those nice circly ones that you can like throw on top of a hi-hat or a drum, so I've just added this one on top. But I tried it out, it didn't fall off, so that's good. And it adds a little kick to the tone, adds a nice little bite that helps it cut through. Okay, so I just did a quick tone check. I just recorded some tones from the weird little DIY kit, and it actually sounds quite decent, like much better than I was expecting. I only played with the first song very, very quickly. So now I'm just gonna do some fine tuning. And after that, since it seems to be sounding pretty okay, I'm probably gonna try running through the set. So let's do a bit of rehearsing. Let's try some rehearsing. Okay, so another small modification. I had to add a little bit of duct tape because the tambourine kept falling towards the center of the drum and I wasn't able to play properly. I'm gonna try running through the set a couple more times. It's feeling not too bad right now. Need to adjust my playing to not playing on a real kit. It's a little weird, but you know, you make it work. Alright, so just finished running through the set a couple times, maybe like 3 or 4 times. Feeling pretty good about it. I managed to adapt the parts to this strange little drum set, and it's going pretty decent. I'm going to make the background look a little bit nicer. Going to do what I can of some set dressing so that when I actually go to film it, it doesn't look super messy and it doesn't look like all hell is broken loose in my room. That's basically gonna all be hidden from the camera, but yeah, so let's get to it.
It'll be okay. Take a step back now, baby. You're killing my vibe. Take a step back now, baby. Don't eat me alive. And I know I said things that I'll soon regret, but I don't really care for the time.
Okay, so the little bit of set dressing is accomplished. Basically, I just took all the coats and stuff that were hanging on my door, put them off to the side, and cleaned up the top of my bookshelf here. So really not a whole lot to it, but it will make things look a little cleaner in the video, so it will be more helpful than it seems. Otherwise, apart from that, I've set up another light over in that direction over there. You can probably see that there's a bit more light shining on me than in the previous shots. That's going to help basically make me look nice in the video. I've also set up a DSLR camera ahead of me. I'm using the action camera to document this vlog today, but I'm using the DSLR to film the good footage for what we're going to submit to the youth showcase later on. Another thing I wanted to mention really quickly before I actually get into this. I thought I would comment a little bit about the nature of this sort of social distance performance we're doing. So we're actually going to be playing 3 songs, and the idea is basically like playing a show, like playing a concert. So it's going to be a little bit different than some of the previous videos we've done, where it was just like one song. In this, we're actually kind of trying to emulate as though we have an audience listening to us. So some of the things that are happening, like Tom, our singer, is speaking a little bit of banter in between the songs. We actually do have to be a little bit aware of that because, for example, when he introduces us, I'm probably going to try and like wave at the camera or something.
On the bass, we have Jess Rovita. On lead guitar, we have Isaac Bender. And on the drums, we have Gab Lavoie.
So it's a little bit different than trying to simply do the one song, which you don't really need to worry about whether you really have an audience or not. All that to say, though, it's going to be kind of an interesting experience, sort of imagining our audience to be there and recording a performance that's for a future virtual audience while we're really just staring at cameras at home. So it's a little bit different than what we're used to doing, but I'm pretty happy for the opportunity to be playing in some capacity. I think I'm basically good to go at this point, so we're going to try and do some final takes of this thing. I'm pretty excited to see what it turns out. Or how it turns out, rather. So let's have at her. I'm going to try some takes out. Okay, so that was one take. Felt pretty decent, but I am going to try some more. I felt like the first song could be a little bit better. I'm going to simplify my parts, I think, just to make it easier to play and easier to record. But otherwise, not bad. We'll do some more. Take 2.
it, shout it, don't matter, can spit it faster than matters. On every single page I find that it is splattered the truth through the vocal booth. Stargaze scene, I'm the next Babe Ruth. If my talent is hidden, the lyric gets written on every single page. I find the pages are sitting down. Into the paper game scene, music maker. And every single second I'm about to sedate you. Now I'm stuck in the middle, don't know what to do.
Alright, so all done recording for the day. I did end up doing a second take of the entire set, and that one felt much more solid, it felt a lot better. So I'll be going with the second take for the final version of the video. However, that doesn't mean my day is quite done yet. I still kind of have to clean up my room and put everything back into its place. At some point, the band does have to put this video together and also mix the audio. Those tasks are probably going to be distributed among the four of us. That said though, it was actually quite a bit of work getting this done the whole day, but it was a lot of fun. I did quite enjoy the challenge of adapting my drum parts to this weird like hybrid soft kit thing. It was interesting to try and figure that out on the fly, but it wasn't as complicated as I thought it might be. So that was a good side to this experience. And so with all that said, I do hope that I get to do more projects like this, whether with my bands or collaborations with other people. Until it's safe to gig in person again, I think this is a good alternative, a good outlet to still play music sort of with people. It also gives the public something to watch again and allows us as musicians to at least be active and to be playing. In any case, thank you very much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed kind of this behind the scenes look at what it takes to put together a social distance set. Please do let me know what you thought of this video in the comments. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Would you have done some things differently than me if you were in my position? Have you also gotten the chance to work on some remote projects? I'd like to hear about what you've done. Finally, if you did enjoy this and would like to see more content like this, please take a second to like the video, also subscribe and hit that bell so you get notifications. My name's Gab Lavoie. Thank you once again for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.